Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We had completed simple interest, compound interest, effective rate of interest. And we had started with annuity. We had started with annuity. The most important topic from mathematics, annuity. What do you mean by annuity? It's nothing but regular amount at regular interval. Regular amount at regular interval. We had seen some examples also. EMI of a loan. You have to keep on paying that equated monthly installment or yearly installment. Same amount, regular amount at regular interval. It can be monthly, it can be quarterly, can be yearly. This is called as annuity. Regular amount at regular interval. We had seen recurring deposit. That means you will deposit 5,000 every month for next 5 years. Same amount for the next 5 years. Rent, every month you have to pay 15,000. That was also your annuity. Life insurance, you will pay yearly premium for next 10 years, 12 years. That is your annuity amount. There were two types of annuity, very important concept, two types of annuity. One was annuity regular and annuity due. Annuity regular is also called as ordinary annuity. That means the first payment is made at the end of the period. It is made at the end of the period. Your repayment of loan is always annuity regular because you will not repay the loan immediately on the next day itself. Not repay the loan immediately on the next day itself. You will take 1 month. EMI under 1 month or yearly at the end of the year. Or if they are specifically mentioned in the sum, you will start investing at the end of the year. Then it will be annuity regular. What is annuity due? That means on the same day itself, in the beginning of the period itself, you will make the first payment. You will make the first payment. Insurance. You'll go to the insurance person and say, get my vehicle insured, get my life insured. He will say, okay, but can you say, I will make the payment after 1 year? You give me the service first. After 1 year, I will make you the payment. Service note payment ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. No, not possible. You have to make the payment on that day itself. This is called as annuity due, where the first payment is made on the beginning of the period itself. This is very important. Why? We had seen two different formulas for annuity regular and annuity due. For present value and future value, the formula is different for annuity regular and annuity due. See, in exam, if they're not given anything, if they're given annuity is equal to 10,000 per year, interest is equal to 10%, years is equal to 5, calculate present value. Then you will have to assume it to be annuity regular. If nothing is given, you have to assume it to be annuity regular. By default, you have to assume it to be annuity regular. We are done till here. Let's see some examples. Sham deposited 10,000 per month at 10% per annum for 10 years. Find amount receivable. See, we had seen what is present value, what is future value. See, 10,000 per month for next 10 years. This is your annuity, regular amount at regular interval. Now, 10% is your interest, 10 years is N. Now, what have they asked? Find amount receivable. That means after 10 years, what you receive? That is your future value. That is your future value. First, we saw what we will identify what is given in the question. We will identify whether they have given annuity, present value or future value, interest, and number of years. We saw that. See, out of these four, any three will be given in the question and ask you to find out the remaining. Usually, present value or future value will be given and ask you to find out annuity, or annuity will be given and ask you to find out present value or future value. If they are given both and ask you to find out years, that also you can do. If they are given both and ask you to find out interest also, and if they are given years, that also you can do. Any three will be given in the question and ask you to find out the remaining part. Now, what was the formula? Very important. What was the formula? Obviously, you won't remember it in one day. You need to keep on practicing. What is the formula for future value and present value in case of ordinary annuity? And what is the formula in case of annuity due? For now, you can look at the formulas from your notes. You can go back and look at the formulas before solving the sum. Over a period of time, you will get to know this formula. In exam, you cannot take your formula sheet and go. For your exam, you have to compulsorily memorize this formula. Now, we have done few sums. If you remember question number 1, X deposited 2,000 rupees per year for 8 years. That 2,000 rupees is depositing every year. That is your annuity amount. In case of deposit, what will it be? You have to make the deposit on the same day until and unless they have given in the question that you make the deposit at the end of the year. Until and unless they are given, you make the deposit at the end of the year. Deposits are always annuity due itself because you have to start the deposit on that day itself, beginning of the period. Now, for 8 years at 10%. How much will he receive after 8 years? That means what are they asking? Future value. They're asking future value. Now you know annuity N and I, three values given in the question. Now you have to find out future value. How will you do that? Formula for future value in case of annuity due is this one. R into 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 divided by I into 1 plus I. The same thing we have done. We got the answer also. We have got the answer also. See, Mr. X borrowed 5 lakhs. Second sum, Mr. X borrowed 5 lakhs to buy a house. That means he's taking a loan of 5 lakhs. In case of loan, it is always annuity regular. It is always annuity regular because immediately on the same day, nobody repays the loan. Nobody repays the loan on the same day. Now, if he pays equal installment for 20 years, that is your N, at 10% per annum compound interest, I, calculate amount of installment. That means they're asking you to find out annuity. They're asking you to find out annuity. Now they have given what? Present value. Loan is always a present value. We had seen many sums of loan where loan is always a present value. Now, check for present value formula in case of ordinary annuity. Present value is equal to R into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n divided by I. See, we saw how to calculate to the power minus n. If I had 1.1 to the power minus 10, what will I do? First 1 divided by 1.1 I will do. I will get some answer. I will get some answer. Either to the power 10 I will do. How will I do that? Into is equal to till I get 10. Till I get to the power 10 I will do that. We have done many sums on to the power minus n. So what was our last sum which we did? The last sum which we did was a person invests 500 at the end of each year. They have only specifically mentioned at the end of each year. And at the end of the period. Annuity regular. Ordinary annuity. Now, annuity they have given. I they have given. N they have played. With N they have tried to play. For 12 years he will invest. For 13th year he did not invest. We have done this sum. I hope you remember. If you are absent, can't help. Can't help. If you are absent on Friday, please take notes from your friends. Copy it. If you have doubt, ask your friends. Aurgu explain madak bandila andre, then ask me. Then ask me. If you are absent on Friday's class. Now we'll do question number 9. Question number 9. See, if you are absent for Fridays and Thursdays class, can't help you with what is annuity due, what is regular annuity, all this. You have to take help of your friends. Should take help of your friends. See, write down question number 9. See, we are done till question number 8 if you remember. Now we'll do question number 9. See, annuity, if you do only these sums, it is enough. Apart from these sums, you won't get additional questions. You won't get additional questions from annuity. Simple interest, compound interest. Here are the one formula. They will give 3 items. You have to find out the remaining item. That we have done many sums: simple interest, compound interest, and effective rate of interest. Now from annuity, in case you get question, you will get questions 110%. It will be from these questions only. We'll do some 15, 16 questions. From these questions only, you will get in exam. Next question number 9. Raja aged 40 years wishes that his wife receives 40 lakh on his death. On his death. See, Raja wishes that his wife should receive 40 lakh on his death. If his life expectation, if his expectation of life, let's make it this expectation of life is another 30 years, and he starts making investment at 3% per annum compound interest. How much investment should he make every year No. Before solving, first identify what is given in the question. Raja wants that his wife should receive 40 lakhs when he dies. When he dies, his wife should be able to receive 40 lakhs. So for that, he is making some investment every year. He has to make some investment every year at 3% per annum. For how many years? For another 30 years. So now this 30 years is your N. He thinks that he will be alive for 30 years and he will be making investment for next 30 years. That is your N. Now they have given I also. They have given I also. How much investment should he make every year? Regular amount at regular investment. How much should he make every year? And your R. They're asking you to find out R. Now can someone tell me what is this 40 lakh? What is this 40 lakh?
Future value.
Correct. Correct, Darshan. It is your future value. Why future value, sir? Wife will receive 40 lakhs after his death. Ivat bandila 40 lakhs. You have not received 40 lakh. His wife receives 40 lakh after his death. That is your future value, not present value. After 30 years, his wife should receive 40 lakh. That is your future value. Now, can someone tell me whether it is annuity due or regular annuity? Annuity due or regular annuity? Impana, good. See, if you want to start your investment, you will go to the bank today and will you say, I want to make an investment, but I will make the payment after 1 year. Will they accept? Amat 1 year bitba, they will say. You have to make the payment on that day itself. You have to make the payment on that day itself. Therefore, it is annuity due. Annuity due. On that day itself, you have to start your investment. You can't say 1 year bit birthini with application code. No, not possible. So in case of annuity due, what is the formula for future value? You can look at your notes. Of course, nobody will remember because this is your second day for annuity. Nobody will remember future value formula. In case of annuity, due is future value is equal to R into 1 plus I to the power N minus 1 by I into 1 plus I. Is this correct? You can check your notes. You can check your notes. The given future value is 40 lakh. The given future value is equal to 40 lakh. See, don't write down. I will give you enough time to copy the question also and the answer also. Just understand how we are doing. We need to find out R. What is I? 3%. 1.03 to the power N is to 30 years. Minus 1 divided by 0.03 into 1 plus I is equal to 1.03. Now, 40 lakh is equal to R into, let us try to solve this. How will you do 1.03 to the power 30 first? Hang 1.03, put it in your calci. Now you want to the power 30. How will you do that? Into is equal to, you got to the power 2 is equal to, again, you got to the power 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You have to do 30 times. Minus 1. You'll get one value divided by 0.03. You'll get one more value. 47.57 Now, for that value itself, directly do into 1.03. Because of this, into 1.03. You will get 49.0026. You can keep it as 49. You can keep it as 49. Somebody has already given the answer. Darshan S has already got R value. Good. Now R is equal to how much? 40 lakh by 49, which is nothing but 81632. You'll get it as 81632. He has got it as 81628. 10 numbers in the munda is fine. 10 numbers here and there is fine. So your answer is 81632. Copy this. Try this on your own. See, it looks simple. 49 bantu simple. While doing in your can, see, instead of taking 1.03, you will take 1.3, all this. So you have to practice this. Check whether you are getting the same answer using calculation. See, there is nothing in this question. Formula, I know you will remember. Exam munche, at least you will memorize the formulas. Now, only thing is, You have to find out what they are asking in the question. Here they are asking R. I and N is very simple. Now 40 lakh ಏನು present value na future value na. Here few might be getting confused, that you have to be thorough with it. He receives 40 lakh on his death. Is she receiving today? No, no. Anything received today is present value. Anything receiving in future is future value. So with this, you should get to know the formula of future value in case of annuity due, that you have to memorize. Can't help with that. That much you have to memorize. After that, substitute the values, you will get the answer for R. That step, don't do the mistake. Istella ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು in calculator, don't do the mistake. Taking 1.3 instead of 1.03. That mistake you should not do. We are just doing some system. Concept we have already done. We have done already the concept. No, you won't be doing sums from your textbook. You won't be doing sums from your textbook. Correct, Manjunath. Good. There are only some few sums in your textbook that you can practice on your own. All the types we are already doing it in the class. So if you don't look at the textbook sums also for annuity, it is fine. You can just refer to the questions from your notes. But for additional practice, you can do sums from textbook also. The questions are very similar. No new questions you will find in your textbook. Everything we would have done in our notes itself. Once you are done, raise your hand. I will get to know so that we can move on to question number 10. Pana, Ikra, Darshan, Manjunath. Good. Darshan gave the answer that time itself. Bharat. Arjun also done. Good. Rajashekar done. He also done. Okay. What is the number next to your name? Is it your roll number in BCom class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next question? Question number 10. Add on. Question number 10. Let's say, suppose your parents decide to gift you rupees 10,000 every year. They decide to gift you 10,000 every year from today. From today for next 5 years. Even still you complete your CA, they are decided to give you 10,000 every year. What is, sir, CA madak 5 years beka? How do? So you are writing it in June. Once you clear, you have to write your IPCC. For that, you cannot write it in the next attempt itself. You have to wait for 9 months. Once you finish your IPCC, you have to do 3 years articleship. Only then you can write final. So if you clear everything in first attempt, it will take 4.5 to 5 years. Now, what is present value? I is equal to 10% per annum compound interest. This is what they are given. See, they are given I. They are given for 5 years N. Now they have asked what is present value directly. Now that means 10,000 every year you are getting from your parents. What is it? It is annuity. It is your annuity. Regular amount at a regular interval. Every year you are getting 10,000. Now, can someone tell me whether it is annuity regular or annuity due? You are getting it from today itself. If your parents come and tell, I have decided to give you 10,000 every year till you finish your CA. And if they tell, ee varsha mugili aamel kodtini, will you be quiet? No. You will ask her, give me today itself. Give me from today itself. And I have clearly mentioned in the question also, from today itself. That means from the beginning of the period. That means it is annuity due. That means it is annuity due. Someone has given the answer. Correct, Impano. It is annuity due. Now, in case of annuity due, what is the formula for present value? See, since the asked present value, and what is the formula for present value in case of annuity due? Present value is equal to, you can look at your textbooks. Sorry, textbook, Anthony, your notes. The where we have written the formulas. So we obviously will not remember the formulas. R into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n minus 1 divided by I plus R plus R. So we know what is R. We need to find out present value. How will we do that? R is equal to 10,000. Is the formula correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
10,000 into what is 1 minus I is equal to 10%. Therefore, 1 plus I is 1.1 to the power of minus n is to 5 years. N minus 1 is 4, which is 4. N to 4, n minus 1, which is 4, minus 4 by 0.1 plus 10,000. Now, how will we solve this? First, let me calculate 1.1 to the power minus 4. How will I do that? Here it is minus 4. You cannot do 1.1 into is equal to directly. What do you have to do? 1 divided by 1.1 you have to do first. You get 0.909090. Either to the power 4 you have to do. How will you do that? Into is equal to, you got square. One more is equal to, you got cube. One more is equal to, you got to the power 4. 1.1 to the power minus 4 you got 6830. Now you have to deduct this number from 1. How will we do that? Plus or minus sign is there. Put minus sign and then add 1. You'll get the numerator. 0.3169. 0.3169 divided by 0.1. We'll get the answer. 3.1698 eno barate. Now this into 10,000. We'll get the answer as 31698.65 plus 10,000. So your present value is 41698.65. This is your present value. See what you have to find out that they have given directly in the question. I and N they have given. Now 10,000 every year is your annuity. Only question is whether it is annuity due or annuity regular. They have given from today itself you are receiving that amount. Beginning of the period. Therefore annuity due. Now what is the formula for annuity due? Present value in case of annuity due? This one. Sir, hengotu we have written in the notes which you have to memorize. Which you have to memorize before exam. Heng martira depending on you. You have to remember. 41725. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್? Did you do to the power 5? See 10 or 15 in the munde, okay, you are getting some 30 numbers difference. Calculate again, Impana. No, sir. 41725. Maybe 1.1 to the power minus 4, you would have got the answer. You would have written in your notes and then 1 minus that number you would have done, I think. So try to do everything from the calci only, no? If you are writing it down and doing, take up to 4 decimals. Ikra has got 41,700. Good. One number in the munde. Fine. See, in exam also, they won't give the options as 41698, 41700, 100, 200 difference will be there. So they also know. The 10, 15 numbers in the munda is fine. Because few would have taken 2 decimal points, few would have taken 4 decimals, few 3, few 5 or 6. That happens. Few would have done entire thing from calci only. All that will happen. So formula you have to remember the 4 formulas. You will definitely get questions from annuity. So you need to remember the formulas. Impan has got the correct answer. Good. So once you are done with this, we will move on to application of annuity. Where will we use annuity? See, all these are practical sums only, no? All this will be helpful in your practical life. See, you should never forget annuity concept, because this concept will be helpful in your inter level also. Financial management, costing, everywhere it will be helpful. It will also be used in your final level. They will just say passing reference from CA foundation. No teacher will say how to calculate in bantu, yav annuity. They won't keep on explaining this again. Because we move on to the advanced level. So this concept you should not forget. Final Mukudmal Martok Bada, no. This is helpful for your lifetime, it is helpful. Tomorrow you want to invest in stock market. How will you check? You have to check using annuity concept only. I keep on receiving this much dividend every year. So what should be the present value? And now the stock price is this much. Oh, it is less than present value. So let me invest. It is undervalued. All that will happen. So you should never forget this concept. Once you are done, raise your hand. We will move on to application of annuity. Manjunath has got the same answer. Super Manjunath. Exact 0.65. Impana, Ikra, Bharat. Manjunath, good. Darshan, Arjun. Done. Now we'll see application of annuity. See application of annuity. In that first we will see sinking fund. Again, this is important. Eno hosadilla, name on changes. Give the heading as sinking fund. Sinking fund. Sari and Saridu, kitchen a little sinka. No. We'll see the meaning of sinking fund. What do you mean by sinking fund? See, understand what do you mean by sinking fund? Let's say I purchased a machinery today. I purchased a plant and machinery today, which cost 1 crore. Which cost 1 crore. See, of course, 1 crore is not a small money. I somehow manage 1 crore and I purchased a plant and machinery. And the life of the plant and machinery is 10 years. Life of this machine is 10 years. After 10 years, what will happen? I have to throw this machine and I will realize some amount. I have to throw this machine. Now, after 10 years, where will I get again 1 crore? Where will I get again? It will be very difficult for me to arrange 1 crore again at the end of 10th year. So what will I do? Every year I will keep on saving some amount. Some amount I will set aside. This is for my machine after 10 years. Every year I will set aside 10 lakh. So at the end of 10th year, I will get some amount. That is my sinking fund amount. I deposited something in my sinking fund. I kept aside something for plant and machinery after 10 years. So now after 10 years, it won't affect my working capital. So it will not affect my working capital. It will not be a huge burden for me at that time. 10th yearly, it will not be a huge burden. Elinda Tarad 1 crore. It will not be a huge burden because every year I had saved certain amount. Now, this is called a sinking fund. Now you can use this amount to repay the liability also. Let's say you know that you have to repay some amount after 6 years. Let's say you want to repay 5 lakh after 6 years. So 5 lakhs at the 6th year, where will I get? To arrange for 5 lakhs at the end of 6 years, at a time it will become difficult for me. So what will I do? Every year I will set aside some amount. Every year I will set aside some amount from my profits. This from that amount I will repay the liability. After 6 years I will repay the liability. So always sinking fund is your future value. So we are thinking about future and setting aside some value today itself. This is called a sinking fund. You can write down sinking fund means a fund set aside out of profits. From your profit you are removing some amount and saying this is for my plant and machinery after 10 years, or this is for my repayment of liability after 5 years. So you are setting aside some amount out of your profits with a purpose. For some purpose you are setting aside some amount out of your profits. It can be either to purchase a new plant and machinery, or it can be to repay liability. Whatever might be the reason, you are setting aside some fund out of your profits with a purpose. So sinking fund will always be future value. You are thinking about future and saving today. So sinking fund amount at the end will always be your future value. Now whatever you are setting aside, it is your annuity. So but annuity due na, annuity regular is my question. What will happen? So you are setting out of your profits. When will you earn the profit? At the end of year. You'll get to know about the profits at the end of year. So you will set aside something at the end of the year, which is annuity regular, which means annuity regular. You can write down somewhere in bracket out of profits. Andre profit at year end. On the profit at year end. Therefore, yenagate from the end of the period antandre ordinary annuity or annuity regular. So sinking fund is always a annuity regular or ordinary annuity until and unless they are given otherwise in the question. If they are specifically mentioned, no, you are setting out from today itself, then it becomes ordinary annuity due. Then it becomes annuity due. Otherwise, if nothing is given, sinking fund is a annuity regular. Why? Because you will set aside something from your profit. Profit you will earn only at the end of the year. No. That's why. Copy this much. This is called as sinking fund. Sinking fund is always annuity regular, or it is also called as ordinary annuity. And sinking fund will always be your future value. Future value. If they are given, you want a sinking fund of 10 lakhs. 10 lakh is your future value. Copy this quickly. Sir, dash na mail that is profit. Symbol for profit. If I write down ulta, that will become loss. This is the symbol for profit. Sir, exam and bari boda. See, this is an MCQ paper. You won't write down anything apart from your name, roll number. Circle aliya fill madbekast. Whatever you write, nobody will evaluate. Nobody will look at your rough paper also. See that it will go to Tukake. Nobody will look at it also. Done. Let us do 1 or 2 sums from sinking fund. Write down question number 11. Question number 11. We are done in 10. Now this is your question number 11. This is a question from sinking fund. Rupees 10,000 set aside out of profits every year to purchase plant and machinery after 10 years. After 10 years, interest is equal to 10%. Calculate the amount of in sinking fund. So what are they asking you to find out? Amount in sinking fund after 10 years. That means is it your present value or future value? Future value. So they're asking you to find out what is future value. I have told you sinking fund is always future value. Now what is your value in sinking fund after 10 years? At the end of 10 years. Today's value they're not asking. They're asking you after 10 years and their future value. And you are setting out 10,000 every year. 10,000 every year. Regular amount at regular interval. Therefore 10,000 is annuity. 10,000 is annuity. In case of sinking fund, when will you set aside? At the end of the period, after you get to know about your profit. From that profit, you will set aside something. You'll get about your profits at the year end only. So therefore, it is always ordinary annuity or regular annuity. This is your annuity regular or ordinary annuity. Now, what else have they given? I, they have given 10%. N, they have given 10 years. What do you need to calculate? Future value. What is the formula for future value in case of annuity due? Annuity regular. That is future value is equal to R into 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 divided by I. Is this a formula? Is this a formula? Can you just check once in your notes? Is this
Yes,
a formula?
sir.
Yes. Okay. Now we will write down. R is how much? 10,000. We'll set aside 10,000 every year. 1 plus I is to 0.1 to the power 10 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Now this 1 plus 1.01, can I write it as 1.1 directly? Write it as 1.1 directly. So now, how will you do this in your calc? 1.1 to the power 10 is there, minus 10. So therefore take 1.1 itself. Into is equal to, I got to the power 2. One more is equal to, I got to the power 3. I want to the power 10. Therefore it will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 1 divided by 0.1. I will get some value into 10,000. I got 1,59,374. Got 1,59,374. So future value under the amount in sinking fund is how much? 1,59,374.24. This is my value in sinking fund after 10 years. If I set aside 10,000 every year, when interest rate is 10%, my value in sinking fund will be how much? 1,59,374.24. This is my answer. See, if you know the formula, you can do the sum in 1 minute and do the sum in 1 minute. Bharat, Darshan, both of you have got the correct answer. Good. Darshan has also raised his hands. Okay, good. Copy this question. So if you see, for every sum, we need that formula. For that, you have to memorize. For annuity due, what is present value and what is future value? And for annuity regular, what is present value and future value? That formula you have to remember. Adon gottidre, you can solve any sum in annuity. Remember those 4 formulas, you can do any sum from annuity. Is it easy or not?
Easy, sir.
See, chapter 4 is very important. See, other chapters which we did all had a weightage of very less marks. This has a weightage of 12 to 16. So if you do chapter 1 and chapter 4 alone, you are set with somewhere around 20 to 25 marks. From 20 to 25 marks, you will easily get from chapter 1 and 4 alone. what was your chapter 1? Ratios, so indices, logarithms. All this was your chapter 1, proportions. 4 units you had. So chapter 1 and chapter 4 alone, you get a lot of done. Arjun is done. Manjunath, exact answer. 3 digits ವರೆಗೂ ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ. Super. Others, are you getting the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Move on to question number 12. Move on to next question. Question number 12. See, this also on sinking fund. Okay. Here, how much should be set aside every year so that rupees 5 lakhs is available to repay loan at end of 8 years. I is equal to 4% per annum compound interest. What are the given? The given n, the given I. Now, they've asked you for how much should be set aside every year. And then they're asking you to find out annuity. How much should be set aside every year? That means they're asking you what is annuity. Regular amount at regular interval. How much should you set aside every year? Now, so that 5 lakhs is available to repay loan at the end of 5 years. Under this 5 lakh, is it required today or after 5 years? 5 lakh is required at the end of 8 years. Sorry, 8. At the end of 8 years. So 5 lakh is your future value. This is your sinking fund. 5 lakh is your future value. Correct, Impana. 5 lakh is your future value. You have to set aside some amount every year so that you will get 5 lakh at the end of 8th year. You will get 5 lakh at the end of 8th year. Now, in case of sinking fund, will it be regular annuity or annuity due? Annuity regular or annuity due now? We'll set aside every year from the profits at the end of each year. Therefore, it is your regular annuity. This is your regular annuity. This is your regular annuity. Therefore, for regular annuity, what is the formula for future value? Formula for future value. So future value is equal to R into 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 by I. Is this the formula? Previous sum also uses the same formula. Because for sinking fund is always annuity regular and ordinary annuity. Now we'll substitute whatever we know. Future value is 5 lakh. R we don't know. 1 plus I is to 4%, therefore 1.04 to the power 8. Because n is equal to 8 minus 1 divided by 0.04. How much will you get? Sir, hang madadu. 1.04. You need to the power 8, not minus 8. Therefore, 1.04 into is equal to 2 bantu 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get one value minus 1. You'll get one value divided by 0.04. This is your answer for this one. Now 5 lakh divided by this answer, you will get R is equal to 5 lakh by 9. Which is coming to 54,265. So you have to set aside 54,265 every year for 8 years, so that you will receive 5 lakh at the end of 639,63263.9591. 10 numbers in the munde is fine. R is equal to 54, 255. If you save this amount every year, you will get 5 lakh at the end of 8th year. If interest is 4% per annum. All are simple. All are simple. See, even if you have not heard of sinking fund, if I had given this question before explaining what is sinking fund, you would have got the answer. You would have got the answer. Just explain there is a concept called as sinking fund. Even if I had not explained, you would have got this answer. You know what they are asking. You know 5 lakh is future value. Manjunath got the answer. Darshan Gubantu. Good. See, if you have doubt in this chapter, please don't keep it with yourself. Keli. Any sum, any question. If you're getting doubt, annuity regular, annuity due now. You have any doubt, you can ask. See, even if you have doubt in calculation, you can ask. Because this chapter is very important. Time value of money. See, during your exam time, I know most of the students will not do all the chapters. Most of them will skip equations. Most of them will skip logarithms. So if you have not attended logarithms, you will feel it is difficult. Logarithm was very simple. Log was very simple. At the end of the mathematics, I will teach you shortcut for log also. If they ask log 75, how to get the answer, we'll do that from calc itself. That I will teach at the end. Sir, is there any separate formula for sinking fund? No. Have we used any separate formula? No. This formula we have written already in your notes. If you go and check for ordinary annuity, what is the formula for future value? This only you would have written. Sir, in textbook it's there. No, don't look at textbook. I'm telling you, no, don't look at textbook for annuity. It is confusing in textbook. If you're getting this answer, enough. See, in exam also, if you're getting the final answer, more than enough. Okay, sir. Textbook also, it is the same formula. They are done differently, Aster. They are done differently. That's why for annuity, don't look at your textbook. They are doing it two methods. One method, this also they have done in your textbook. Other method also they have shown. Not required. In exam, you have to get the answer. You'll get more confused if you look at the textbook. If you want, you can look at the questions in your textbook. All that we would have covered in our notes only. If you want additional questions, you can look at your textbook. The same sum, they would have changed the amount and given in your textbook. You can look at more sums from your textbook. For concept and all, no need to look at your textbook. If you are done, raise your hand. Most of them had raised that time itself. Okay. So now you know how to do sums on sinking fund. It is a regular annuity, and they are asking you either future value or annuity amount. So that much you can do. Now there is one more concept called as lease and hire. Lease or rent or hire. The concept called as lease. This is your next concept, lease. Sir, lease andre eno? In Bangalore, Bogyam bane. I will pay 5 lakh now. After 3 years, I will get back that 5 lakh. I won't pay rent. Adella Allah. Lease is nothing but your rent. It's also called as rent or hire charges. See, that lease amount is used only in Bangalore. Only Bangaloreans follow that. You pay 10 lakh, stay in my house. After 2 years, I will repay that 10 lakh. That is not your lease. That is not your lease. That is called as Bangalore lease. Only we people use that. Outside Bangalore, nobody follows this. It was introduced in Bangalore lease. Now we are talking about rent and hire charges. Let us look at one example. there is an asset with you. There is an asset which costs 3.6 lakh. An asset which costs 3.6 lakh. Now you are confused whether to give this asset on rent or not. Whether to give this asset on rent or not. So the market rate for this asset is here is 1,05,000. See, in the market, if you want to give this asset on rent, they will pay only 1,05,000 for next 5 years. So every year they will pay 1,05,000 for next 5 years. For next 5 years, they will pay 1,05,000. Let's say interest is equal to 14% per annum. Now you have a doubt whether to give this asset on lease or not. Whether to give this asset on lease or not. If I give this asset on lease, loss agata enu, that you have to find out. Whether to give this asset on rent or not is the question. Sir, how will they ask this in MCQ? Usually they won't ask this in MCQ, but still we learn how to solve this. Whether to give this asset on rent or not is the question. See, today you have spent 3.6 lakh. Now immediately if you give it for rent, you will receive 1,05,000 for next 5 years. So if you look at general calculation, 1,05,000 into 5 years, 5,25,000 barutte. Anyway, I will be spending only 3.6 lakh today. No, this is not how you have to do. You have to calculate what is the present value of this rent. You have to calculate what is the present value of this. Step 1, you have to calculate present value of rent receivable. If you receive 1.5 lakh every year, then what is the present value of it? What is the present value of it? If rent is ordinary annuity, because you will receive this amount at the end of the period itself. At the end of the period. So this is ordinary annuity and this is your annuity 1,05,000. You need to calculate present value. N is this one, I is 14, and this is your R, which is ordinary annuity or regular annuity. First step will be to calculate present value of rent receivable. We will see how much is the present value. Yavatto baro amount nanu beda. If I received all the rent today itself, what will be my present value is the question. Now you have to calculate present value of rent receivable. How will you do that? You know the formula for present value in case of ordinary annuity. Present value is nothing but 1 minus 1 plus R, 1 plus I to the power minus. In case of ordinary annuity, what is the formula? 1 plus I to the power minus N divided by I. R into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus N by I. Now calculate, someone tell me the answer for this. It's nothing but 1,05,000 into 1 minus N is equal to 14. So 1.14 to the power minus 5 divided by 0.14. Now how will I do? 1.14 to the power minus 5. 1 divided by 1.14. Idurdu to the power 5 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Into is equal to. Now I got one value. 1 minus this number. So what will I do? I will put minus in my calc. Plus 1. I got the numerator. Divided by 0.14. I'm getting some value into 1,05,000. I got the present value. So present value is equal to 3,64,73.5. I'm getting this answer. I'm getting this answer. See, how much am I spending today? 3,60,000. But how much is the present value of the rent receivable? 3,60,473. 3,60,473. So which is much better than 3,60,000. This value is better than 3,60,000. So therefore I will give it on rent. Therefore I will give this on rent. So if the present value of the rent receivable is more than lakh 60. Will I give it on rent? No, I'm not a fool. When the market rate is 14%, I will not give it to him for 1 lakh. So this is your step 1. You got present value. Now what is step 2? Step 2 is you have to calculate whether it is more than or not. Step 2 is asset cost. ಎಷ್ಟು asset cost? 3,60,000. They have given in the question itself. Now compare. So conclusion ಏನು? Conclusion. If step 1 is more than or equal to step 2, andre this present value of rent receivable, if it is equal to or more than it, then give asset for rent. You can give the asset for rent because you are spending 3,60,000 today, but present value of the rent receivable is more than 3,60,000. So you can give it for rent. You will be making profit only. 473 more profit only than the market rate. You are making more profit only. Now what happens if step 1 is less than step 2? Andre you are spending 3,60,000, but present value of rent receivable less than 3,60,000 idre, don't give it on rent. Ashte. Do not give for rent. Do not, sorry, do not give it on rent. Simple. Now copy this. Sir, how will they ask this in MCQ? They can't. How will they ask whether to give or not? Yes or no na erade answer irutte. Usually you won't get questions like this, but important in your inter and final level. So there is nothing in this. You just calculated present value of rent receivable. Present value in case of ordinary annuity ಏನು ಅಂತ you should remember the formula. Calculate present value. If this present value is more than your actual cost which you are incurring today, for that asset you are incurring 3.6 lakh. If your present value of rent itself is more than that amount, obviously you will give it for rent. Obviously you will give it for rent. See, these are all investment decision whether to give on rent or not. But how to ask in MCQ? Very difficult to ask in MCQ, so they won't. Usually they won't, but somehow they manage to make questions on this also. Still you know how to find out the answer whether to give or not. You know, copy this. If you have any doubt in this sum, you can ask. I think few of you might be having some doubt. Enidu, please explain anta. If you have any doubt, you can ask where you are having the doubt. Once you are done, raise your hand. We'll move on with the next concept, bond valuation. Darshan Impana. That That's still writing. So okay, right. How many of you are attending the online class through mobile phones? Won't it be difficult to write down? Ikra, mobile, Darshan, mobile, Shreyas, Kufna. Mobile data, will it be sufficient? Bharat also through mobile. 1.5
The
GB,
entire
2
week
GB.
will be exhausted by the end of the day, sir.
You'll get exhausted. You have to attend online classes of your college also, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
How will
sir.
they take attendance? Like if you have joined once, will it count for attendance? Or do you have to attend the entire class?
Entire class, sir.
Oh, if any description in the internet connection, then no attendance for you.
Sir, we actually attend classes through Teachment app, so the attendance will be recorded automatically.
Okay. Now, what about the attendance for Buttonbut tutorials? Are they taking attendance also? Oh, more than half an hour if you attend full class attendance. Okay. Rajashekar. Oh. Nice, no? You can attend half the class and you can exit. Good. Are you done with this? Yes, sir. Okay. Move on to bond valuation. What do you mean by bond and debenture valuation? Sirinadu. We'll see. We'll understand. Bond valuation. Bond or debenture valuation. What do you mean by this? See what happens in bond. Let's say there is Government of India. You are investing in Government of India bonds. They are saying the bond rate is 10%. What do you mean by this? That means government will give you 10% on that bond. On the first day itself, first day, you have to invest in Government of India bonds. Let's say you are investing 1 lakh. The period is 3 years. That means at the end of year 1, on that year itself, at the end of year 1, you will receive 10% interest. You will receive 10% interest. Now, how much is 10% interest? You receive 10,000. Now, year 2 also, let's say you receive 10,000 interest. Now, year 3 is the year of maturity. You receive your interest also along with the principal which you are given, along with your principal which you had given. Now, if they ask you to find out the value of the bond and their present value, they're asking, what is the value of this bond today? Now, just tell me what is the value of this interest today. Interest received after 1 year is 10,000. Then what will be the amount today? What will be the amount today? Now, don't think of annuity and all. This is not your annuity. This is not your annuity. Amount received after 1 year is 10,000. That means this is your A. If you remember simple interest, compound interest, this is your A. This is your A. This is the amount which you receive at the end of 1 year. Now interest is 10%. Interest is 10%. N is equal to H2, 1 year. N is equal to 1. Now I am asking you to find out the value today. Value today. How will you do that? How will you do that? If it is 10% interest, compound interest, if I is equal to compound interest, how will you do that? Have you forgotten the formula for A? Annuity ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು complicated topic ಮಾಡಿ. Have you forgotten the formula for compound interest? Can someone give me the answer for P? Okay, ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದ್ರೆ I will only give the formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power N. If you remember, this was the formula for compound interest. Now they are given A 10,000 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Now P is equal to, we need to find out. Now 1 plus I andre 1.1 ಆಯ್ತು. I is equal to 0.1. So 1.1 to the power N. So P is equal to 10,000 by 1.1 to the power 1. Now for year 2, how will you calculate present value? So if you are receiving 10,000 after 2 years, what is the value today? If you are receiving 10,000 after 2 years, what is the value of this amount today? I'm receiving 10,000 after 2 years. That I want. That means present value. So you can write down present value is equal to a by 1 plus I to the power n. So which is nothing but 10,000 by 1.1 to the power 2. Correct? Now what is the value of this amount today? I'm receiving 1,10,000. Altogether I'm receiving 1.1 lakh after 3 years. If I want to receive that amount today itself, what will be that amount? You can directly write down P is equal to A by 1 plus I to the power n. Now A is equal to 1.1 lakh because you are receiving 1.1 lakh at year 3. Yake sir idal jasti? See, for 3 years you received interest. Third year you are getting your principal amount also back. You are getting your principal amount also back. Now 1 lakh divided by 1.1 to the power 3. Now if you add this value plus this value plus this value, you will get the present value of the bond. You get the present value of the bond. Don't write down anything. Don't write down anything. Now let us understand properly. Now today present value. Today presently how much are you investing in that bond? 1 lakh. And year 1 how much are you receiving? Year 2 how much are you receiving? Year 3 how much are you receiving? I am receiving 10,000 interest every year. Till the year of maturity, I am receiving 10,000. Now third year, will I not receive my amount back? Very interest got put over. Will we leave them? Give back my principal amount also. He has to give back my principal amount also. Government of India will give back my principal amount also. Now I want the present value of that bond. Now Y0 do enu madala. This is already in present value. Y0 is nothing but present value. Today I invested 1 lakh in that bond. Now I'm receiving 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 and my principal amount 1 lakh also after 3 years. At the end of 3 years. Now I want the present value. How will you do that? How much will this 10,000 be today? How will we do that? How will we do that? The value of this 10,000 today is nothing but 10,000 by 1.1 to the power 1. Now this amount value today will be 10,000 by 1.1 to the power 2. Now this amount today will be 1,10,000 by 1.1 to the power 3. Can someone tell me the answer for all this? 10,000 by divided by 1.1, which is nothing but
9,090.
9,090. Now 10,000 divided by 1.1 square.
8,264.
8,264. Present value of this interest after 2 years is 8,264. If you want to verify 9090, put 9090 in your calci. If this is the amount I have today, what will be my amount after 1 year if my interest is 10% into 1.1? I will get 10,000. I will get 10,000. If today I have 9090, how much will I get after 1 year? 10,000. If today I have 8,264, how much will I get after 2 years? 10,000. If I'm getting 1,10,000 after 3 years, how much is the present value? What is 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1? 1.331. So 1,10,000 divided by 1.331 is equal to 82,644. This is the present value of 1,10,000. If I invest 82,644 today, I will receive 1,10,000 after 3 years at 10% interest. Now what is the total of all these three? Plus 9090 plus 64. And someone tell me the value? Will add up to 1 lakh. Will add up to 1 lakh. Sir, 98 I have not considered the points, therefore it will add up to 1 lakh. So 99 lakh 9 5 you just change this to 5 and 5. Round it off, you will get 1 lakh. This is the present value of my bond. This is the present value of my bond. This 1 lakh I am getting it. The answer 98 is there. Round it off. See, we have not considered the actual points. It is 9090.9. That and all we have not considered. No. If you do that, you will get the answer as 1 lakh. This is the present value of bond. See, in this question, I had only given 1 lakh. Now, in your exam, if they are not given the present value and they just said you'll receive 1 lakh, 10,000, 10,000, and 10,000 plus 1 lakh after 3 years. How much is the present value of bond? Can you find out the answer? No need to copy this. No need to copy this. If you want, you can copy also. Yes, you can copy this. If you want, you can copy this also. Again, copy model, sir. Whatever you want to copy, I will give you one sum later. Sum on this I will give you later. ಈ ತರನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಈ ತರನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Just copy this one. Both are same only. This is your present value of bond. In exam, if they just ask what is the value of bond, that is also nothing but present value only. They specifically need not ask what is the present value of bond. Even if they ask find out the value of the bond, if you receive 8,000 interest every year for up to 4 years, you should know how to calculate. You should know how to calculate. Once you are done, raise your hand. I will give an example. An example sum. The bond andre ಏನು? You pay some amount to government of India or some company or to some company. They will keep on giving you interest. ಎಷ್ಟು yearsಗೆ that will be given in the contract. I will pay interest for up to 4 years. I will pay interest up to 5 years. I will pay interest up to 6 years. After the end of 6 years, what will happen? You will receive back your amount also. So the amount also at the end of 6th year. Done. Ikra is done. Most of them are done. Write down one example sum. One example. How to calculate present value of bond. An investor purchases a bond which yields 1,000 rupees interest every year, which yields 1,000 rupees interest every year till 1,000 rupees interest every year till the date of maturity. Bond matures after 3 years at par. Matures after 3 years at par. Par andre ಏನು? Whatever you invested, whatever was the principal amount, the same amount you will get back. Let's say you had invested 10,000, you will get that 10,000 itself back at par. See, matures after 3 years at par value of 10,000. Par value is 10,000 at par value of 10,000. That means you are given 10,000 at the beginning. When you purchase the bond, you are given 10,000. The same thing you are receiving back at par. Now, if that mentioned premium, that means premium value of 11,000. You are given 10. Now they are redeeming up 11,000. This also happens. First we'll do for par value. Par value of 10,000. Now I is equal to 14% per annum. Calculate present value of bond. First understand what is happening. Y zeroly, how much is he investing? We don't know. We don't know. Now Y1, you are receiving 10,000. You are receiving 10,000. Y2, you are receiving 10,000. Y3 also you are receiving 10,000. I'm sorry, this is 1,000. I'm sorry. You are receiving 1,000 rupees interest every year. Receiving 1,000 rupees interest every year, which yields 1,000 rupees interest every year till the date of maturity. When is it going to mature? Year 3 null. Year 3 null it is going to mature, and you will also receive your principal amount is to 10,000. Also receive 10,000. Now they are asking you to find out present value of bond. How will you do that? When interest rate is 14%, present value will be 1,000 by 1.14 to the power 1. This value will be 1,000 divided by 1.14 to the power 2. And this value will be ideredu seridre 11,000 agata. 11,000 divided by 1.14 to the power 3. Now can someone tell me the answer? Idesh barate 1,000 divided by 1.14. 8771.9. 1,000 divided by 1.14 square 1.596. You get 626.5. And this value 1.481. Should be 7227.6. So if you add all this, you will get your present value of the bond, which is 16,626. Okay, sorry, 227.6, 626.5. .19.
Sir, second year it is 769.4, no sir.
How? What is 1.14 square? What is 1.4 into 1.4?
1.2996.
1.2996. Okay, wait, let me check. 2,996. It is 769. Sorry. Some other number I would have taken. Calculation mistake. So you have to check the sums two times. 769 point. If you calculate 877.19 plus 769.46 plus 722.6 plus 760.4, I think you'll get 8874. You'll get 8874. 3874. This is the present value of the bond. If the market value of this bond is less than this amount, you will invest. You will definitely invest. If it is more than this, you will not invest. Master. Check once whether my calculation is correct or not. You check once. This is the present value of bond. See now what is happening. You would have invested par value is 10,000 and you are receiving 1,000 rupees interest. What is the interest yield? Which is nothing but 1,000 by 10,000, 10%. Will we consider this interest? No. The interest which they have given. This interest is called as effective rate of interest or nominal interest. This is called as the investor's desired rate of interest. You have to always consider this interest. To copy this sum, we'll do one more sum. We'll do one more sum, which is a bit complicated. Complicated Allah. Instead of giving 1,000 directly, they would have given interest rate of bond. They would have given interest rate of bond. So here I had given 10,000 rupees directly. Now if I had just said 10% bond, then you have to calculate 1,000 rupees. Heng gotagate par values 10,000 andre other to 10% is equal to 10,000. I'm sorry, 1,000. Now copy this. Check whether 8874 is correct answer or not. Impana
Sir,
has got
last
some
time
different
we get it at 7,424.9.
7,424 ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? It is 1.44 1.14 cube ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 1.48
Yes, sir, 1.48.
to divide that 7432 ಇಲ್ಲೂ ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು. Why? Seven four two seven. So it is 7427. So it is 9074.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Impana also got this answer on. Okay. See, calculation, a lot of mistakes will happen. You should take care of it. Especially in these sums, if you are not writing down what is 1.14 to the power 2 or to the power 3. Illi ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 1.481 I would have got. While taking 11,000 divided, you would have done 1.148. ಆ ತರ ಏನೋ mistake ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. You should check the calculation 2 times. See, I itself have done the mistake just now. You should check the calculations again and again. See, bond valuation for 3 years itself, it will take a lot of time to calculate. The chance of getting this in exam, little less only. Then what they will ask, sir, from bond valuation, I will tell you. Copy this and we'll do one more example from valuation of bond. Again, it's not so important from exam point of view, but still it's lengthy, but still they can ask. Done. If you're done, raise your hand. We'll move on to the next sum. If you got 9074, we'll move on to the next sum. Ikra is done. Impan also done. Bharat also done. Tanvi. Darshan also done. Okay. Do one more sum like this and we'll close the valuation of bond. See, one more example. an investor intends to purchase a 3-year bond. It means bond has a maturity of 3 years. Which has par value of, it's a par value of 1,000 rupees. It's a par value of 1,000 rupees and bond yields 10% per annum interest, and bond yields an interest of 10% per annum. Now, if bond matures at premium of 10%, calculate value of bond. How will you do that? Y0 lane value is there, we need to find out. Year 1, how much is the interest I'm getting? Or let's say investor desired rate of return. ROR andre rate of return. Let's write down completely. Rate of return is equal to 14%. Sorry, graded percentage. What is I? We'll see that. We will see that. So the bond has a value of 3 years. Bond value is 3 years. 3 years bond. Now which has a par value of 1,000 rupees. That means today you would have given 1,000 rupees to the company, but I don't want that amount. I want present value of that bond. I want what is the value of the bond actually. The bond yields 10% per annum. Now on par value you will get the interest always. You would have not paid 1,000 rupees to the company, but the par value is 1,000. How much is the percentage? Bond yields 10%. So how much is 10% of 1,000? 100 rupees you will get for 3 years. You will get bond yield always on that par value. This interest is always calculated on par value. Par value is 1,000. So you'll get 100 rupees every year. At the end of 3 years, the bond will mature. And how much will you receive? You'll receive 10% premium on that par value. Par value bandu 1,000, but you will not receive only 1,000. You will receive 10% more than it. And 1,100. You'll receive this much amount. Now they are asking you to find out the present value of the bond if the rate of return is 14% per annum. Even 10% is not useful. 10% is useful only to write down these amounts. 10% is useful only to write down these amounts. 100, 100, 100. Adik matra useful. Now 10,100 egg bantu, it is redeemed at premium. The bond will mature at premium of 10%. Or if they're given, bond will be redeemed at 10% premium. And 10% more than the par value. So that's how you got 11,100. Sorry, 1,100. What is the present value of this? 100 divided by 1.14. This is 100 divided by 1.14 to the power 2. This is to the total 1,200. 1,200 divided by 1.14 cube. Now find out the value of these items. You'll get the present value. You'll get the present value of bond. You'll get present value of bond. Calculate. Someone tell me the answer. Final answer. 7.71.
$975.45.
Now let's quote the answer. This is how you calculate. Again, from exam point of view, priority B only. Then what types of sum will you get in exam? I will show you. The next one where it will not mature only, perpetual. You will keep on getting the interest for lifelong. Once if you keep that amount in the bond, you will keep on getting the amount till you die. After you die also, you will keep on getting perpetuity. Lifelong, you will get that interest. That they will ask. For that formula is there, we'll do that. Write down the answer. Be careful with the competition. One perpetuity concept is there. After that, one nominal rate, real rate, that theoretical point. We'll do that. Sir, break for 5 minutes. No, on the 2 topics is there. We'll give one break after that. We'll have the break and then 1 30-minute small chapter is there. Linear inequalities. We will complete it today itself. 5 minutes break I will give you. After this, perpetuity concept. Perpetuity, nominal rate of return. In 5 minutes concept is asked. We'll do that. If you are done with this, please raise your hand. We'll have a break at 4 o'clock. Don't worry. Most of them are done. Arjun, Manjunath, are you getting the answer or are you simply copying? Pantu sir, okay. He's writing as perpetuity. What do you mean by perpetuity? Continuously. You'll keep on getting the interest continuously. Now, if I say you invested 10,000 in bond, don't write down anything. You invested 10,000 in bond. Now, you will get 10% interest every year for perpetuity. Andre lifelong, you will keep on getting 10% interest. What is the interest? 10% andre 1,000 rupees. Percent interest andre 1,000 rupees. How did you get 1,000? 10% of 10,000. Value of bond is 10,000. You invested 10,000 in a bond and you will keep on getting 10% interest every year for perpetuity. Perpetuity andre infinite number of years. You'll get it for infinite number of years. Now, how to find out the present value of this? Y0 is there. Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. Where will you stop? You should keep on writing till infinity. How to find out, sir, in this case? We have a formula. In perpetuity, present value of bond in case of perpetuity is lifelong, you will keep on receiving the amount. Sayorgu, you will keep on getting 1,000 rupees. What is the present value in this case? Interest divided by I. Interest amount divided by I. This 1,000 rupees you will keep on getting every year. This can also be called as annuity also. Now, in this case, what is the present value? You will keep on receiving 1,000 rupees every year. What is I? 0.1. 0.1 andre 10%. So which is nothing but 10,000. That is your present value. Even if this was not given, you invested 10,000 in a bond. Even if this was not given, you get 10% interest every year for perpetuity. And then you get 10,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees every year for perpetuity. Andre, how will you calculate interest amount? Whatever you receive, that is your annuity. Regular amount at regular interval divided by interest rate 0.1. This is nothing but 10,000. Write down this formula. Present value of bond in case of perpetuity is equal to interest or R divided by I, which is nothing but 1,000 rupees you receive every year divided by 0.1, which is nothing but 1,000. Nothing but 1,000. Now I want you to tell me the answer for this one. Copy this first. Tell me the answer for this one. Calculate the value of bond if it yields 3,000 interest every year at 8% per annum. I want the answer for this example. Calculate the value of bond if it yields 3,000 interest every year. That means you will receive 3,000 interest every year at 8% per annum for perpetuity. For lifelong, you
37.
receive 3,000. Huh?
37,500.
How? What is the formula? Formula is R divided by interest rate. What is the amount which you receive every year? 3,000 divided by interest rate is 0.08. It's nothing but 37,500. That's simple. Now copy this entire thing. Perpetuity. One more small concept is there in perpetuity. What happens? If every year you receive some amount, ಈ ವರ್ಷ 3,000 ಇತ್ತು, next year 10% increase on it. Other next year 10% increase. Other next year 10% increase. That is called as growth. If you are receiving something for perpetuity with growth, this is much better. See, you will not receive the same amount every year. You will receive some amount along with the growth rate. See, if you received 100 rupees this year, next year, if 2% growth is there, you will receive 102. Other next year, 102 to 2% extra with 2% you will receive. In case of growth, what will be the present value? Other concept will see. Formula is there, very simple to remember. Once you are done with this, raise your hand, we'll do that. Ikra, Palada. Sir, here the amount doesn't mature. No, you will not receive the amount. You will not receive the amount. Instead, you will keep on receiving interest for perpetuity. Keep on receiving interest for perpetuity. You will not receive the original amount which you deposited. There is no maturity only, no? That's why. Next type is present value of in case of perpetuity plus growth. That means every year there is some growth also. It's nothing but R divided by I minus growth. This is the formula. R divided by I minus growth. That means there is some growth every year. See, exam question will be like this. Example, how much would you pay to receive 50 rupees every year, growing at 5% annually, 5% per annum, forever? How much would you pay to receive 50 rupees every year, growing at 5% per annum forever? Now they will give discount rate is equal to 7%. Now what is this discount rate, sir? This is nothing but your I. This is nothing but your I. Now growing at 5%, and this is nothing but your G. Now what is the amount you receive every year? R. That is 50 rupees. Now how to calculate? What have they asked in the question first? How much would you pay? Andre, how much would you pay today? How much would you pay today under present value? They're asking you how much would you pay under present value S2. They're asking you for the present value. You already know present value is nothing but R divided by I minus G. Now if you substitute 50 divided by 0.07 minus 0.05, you'll get the answer as S2. And someone tell me the answer. $50 divided by 0.02, which is nothing but 2,500. So present value, you can pay 2,500 today to receive 50 rupees every year. To receive 50 rupees every year, which will grow at 5% forever. The discount rate is 7%. What will be your present value on the KLTR? These type of sums they can ask in exam. See how long will it take to find out the answer. 50 divided by 0.02, 2,500. Bantalala. This is your next concept. If growth is also there, so they will directly not ask calculate present value. They can ask how much would you pay today. That is nothing but your present value, no? To receive 50 rupees every year, growing at 5% per annum forever. Discount rate is 7% per annum. Now discount rate is nothing but your I. Now what is the growth rate? 5%. You receive 50 rupees every year. Done. Artha aita? Understood this concept? In your textbook, you have one more sum. You receive 3,000 every month. Instead of every year, you receive every month. Now interest rate is 7% per annum. Now what will you do? 3,000 divided by 7 madala, 7 divided by 12 madtira. You want to solve that sum also in the class? Do that also. Example, you receive 3,000 rupees every month forever. That means in perpetuality, you receive 3,000 rupees. Discount rate is equal to 8% per annum. Calculate present value. How will you do? Present value in case of perpetuity is nothing but present value is equal to R divided by I. Now in this case, R is 3,000 rupees. Now discount rate is 8% per annum, but here you are receiving every month. So what will you do? You will find out I per annum. If this is per month, I is equal to 8 by 12. 8 divided by 12 is 0.666% per month, which is 0.6666% per month. Now, illi 0.66% andre, which is nothing but 0.006, which is nothing but 0.00666. Now you will get the answer as 3,000 divided by 0.0066666. 45 lakh, sorry, 4,50,000. This is your textbook sum. Copy this much. We are done with perpetuity. We are done with perpetuity. We know how to do in case of growth also. R divided by I minus G. Now we have done how to calculate I in case of month also. See, this much you can get in exam mistake. The valuation of bond, you will get questions on that in your inter level. Financial management in inter level. Foundationally sumne ide, but how can they ask in exam? They can ask if they want to, but it is too lengthy to be asked in foundation level. Valuation of bond. But valuation of bond in case of perpetuity, very simple, that they can ask. Very important, perpetuity. Artha aita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So instead of bond, they can give debenture. Everything is same only. Bond, debenture, everything is same. So ಏನಿದು ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Everything is same only. Once you are done, raise your hand. One small concept is left, theoretical concept. You can get sums on that also. Answer 4,54,50.45 ತಾನೆ. You have taken only 1 or 2 decimals. Take at least 4 decimals. 0.006666 ಮಾಡು. 3000 divided by 0.006666. Take 4 numbers, you will get 4,50,000, 4.5 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು 6 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ you will get exact 4,50,000. Manjunath, you would have taken only 0.0066 ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 0.006666 ಆ ತರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, you will get 4,50,000. Are you done with this? Raise your hand if you are done with this and have understood everything. We'll move on to the last concept of this chapter. Impana, Ikra, others? Darshan, artha agilva? Darshan, KK. Arjun also understood. Manjunath has also got. Danya. Darshan, Rajsekhar. Okay, good. The last concept, nominal rate of return. Nominal rate of return and real rate of return. Last concept, nominal rate of return minus inflation is equal to real rate of return. This is the last concept. See, whatever rate of interest you get from bank, let's say the FD rate is 10% per annum. Let's say the FD rate is 10% per annum. That is your nominal rate of return. If you keep amount in bank, you will get 10% per annum. Now, inflation, how will you get to know? Government will give this. Inflation rate right now is 6% per annum. Right now it is 6% per annum. Now, what is your real rate of return? 4%. This is nothing but 4%. Now, if they give real rate of return and inflation, can you find out nominal rate of return? Yes. Simple. 4 plus 6, 10. See, you might get 10% from the bank. Adral 6% inflation hoitu. That means your real return is only 4% anta artha. This one small concept. You will do this in detail in your inter level. In exam, if they ask, they will give nominal rate of return, inflation, and they might ask you to find out real rate of return. Or they can give real rate of return 4 and inflation 6 and ask you to find out nominal rate of return. Can you get the answer? Simple. This is our last concept of annuity. Nominal rate of return minus inflation is equal to real rate of return. Now there is one more concept, net present value, which we have already done. You just need to calculate present value and compare what is your outflow today. If it is positive, you invest. Otherwise, don't invest. Again, you cannot get these type of sums in MCQ. Invest madbeka bedva. So you will get only what is the present value, what is the future value, those type of sums. And this is also very simple sum. If you get, you can do it in 10 seconds. They are given nominal and inflation. Can you find out real rate? Very simple. Write this down. Example, real rate is equal to 5%. Nominal rate is equal to 8%. Calculate inflation. How much is the inflation rate? ಎಷ್ಟು? I will give you the options also. 4%, B 3%, C 13%, D 0. Impan has given the correct answer. Others?
Yes, sir.
3.
B na? Correct. Kirtana 13. ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲೇ. Why? Nominal rate minus inflation is equal to real rate. So they have given real rate is 5%, inflation X, nominal rate 8%. So what will happen? X ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 8 minus 5 is equal to X. ಎಷ್ಟು? 3. 3 is your answer. 3 is your answer. Simple. Why Kirtana? This will take 10 seconds. Should not do mistake in these type of sums. Annuity ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು simple ಅಲ್ಲಿ if you are doing mistake, what is the use? It's better to do mistakes in class itself. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? We're done with annuity. We're done with your time value of money itself. We'll do few sums from your textbook so that you will get some confidence. We'll do few sums from your textbook after the break. Now the time is 4 o'clock. Take break till 4:05. We'll do some sums for another 15-20 minutes. And there is one small chapter, linear inequalities. Some 20-30 minutes we'll complete the chapter as a weightage of 1 to 2 marks. 1 to 2 marks weightage. In 20-30 minutes we can complete chapter number 3. We'll do that today only. You have class till 5 today. You have class till 5. Take a break. Come back by 4:05. Come back by 4:05. We have almost completed with time value of money. Blue. Quickly look into, but summary. See, simple interest we know how to calculate. Simple interest is very simple. We have already done. A compound interest formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. Now, if it is half yearly, I by 2, n into 2. If it is compounded quarterly, I by 4, n into 4. If it is compounded monthly, I by 12, n into 12. This also we have seen. Effective rate of interest also we have seen some 2-3 sums. 8% per annum compounded half yearly is not same as 8% per annum compounded yearly. So 8% per annum compounded half yearly, you will convert into compounded annually. What will be the effective rate of interest? That also we have seen. There was a formula for it. Now in annuity, first we saw types of annuity, 2 types. First we saw 2 types. One at the payment at the end, which is called as annuity regular or ordinary annuity. Or if you are making the first payment on the beginning of the period itself, it is called as annuity due or annuity immediate. Now we saw what is the formula for future value and present value in both the cases. We saw that 4 formulas. We did some 10 sums that we have done. Now applicationally, valuation bond, sinking fund we have seen, leasing also we have seen. Now what is this investment decision? What is this investment decision? That we'll see here. How to calculate net present value. What is this investment decision? So I'll give you one example. Let's say you have to invest, don't write down anything. You have to invest 1,25,000 for a project. You have to invest 1,25,000 for a project. Now the project will yield 40,000 in first year, 55,000 during second year, and 75,000 during third year. That means if you spend 1,25,000 today, you will receive this much amount after 1 year, this much amount after second year, this much amount after third year. Now, will you invest or not is the question. Will you invest or not is the question. What will you have to do? See, Y1, Y2, Y3. How much are you receiving? 40,000, 55,000, 75,000. And let's say they have given I is equal to 10%. I is equal to 10%. Now you have to calculate the present value of this yield. How much is the present value of this yield? Net present value. Now how will you do that? Now 40,000, what will be the value of it today? If I am receiving 40,000 after 1 year, but if I wanted to receive it today itself, it will be 40,000 by 1.1 to the power 1. This amount will be 55,000 divided by 1.1 to the power 2. And this will be 75,000 divided by 1.1 to the power 3. Can someone tell me the answer? Tell me the total. I'll write down this. Someone calculate the total. 55,000 divided by 1.21. 45454.5. This will be 56,348.6. Can someone tell me the total? It's coming up to 1,38,166.7. This is your present value of project. Now, how much do you have to spend? You have to spend 1,25,000. If you spend 1,25,000 now, this is your initial amount, and you will receive 1,38,161. This is the present value. So total net present value is equal to 138,166.7 minus whatever you invest initially, minus initial investment, which is 125. So 13,166 is your net present value. Your net present value is 13,166. This is your initial outflow. This is your present value of of project, and this is your initial outflow. That much you have to invest 1,25,000 in order to earn 40, 55, 75 after year 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Now your net present value, if it is positive, then you can invest in the project. Then you can invest in the project. This is called as investment decision. How will they ask this in exam? Whether you want to invest or not, how will they ask? They can ask net present value. That they can ask. That they can ask. This is your investment decision, whether to invest or not. Today I am investing 1,25,000. I am receiving 40, 55, 75. They can ask you what is the net present value. Net present value will be present value of this yields, which is 1,38,166. Now how much you have to invest? 1,25,000. So obviously you are getting positive net present value. So therefore you can invest. Therefore you can invest. Copy this if you want in your notes. If you want and better, you copy this. Everybody copy this. So this is the topic which we had left. Now we are done with chapter number 4. Now we are done with chapter number 4. We'll move on to chapter number 3. Once you do this, raise your hand if you have understood this, and once you are copying it, raise your hand. Once you are done copying this, we'll move on to chapter number 3, linear inequalities. Very small chapter, not so important, but if you are not attending the class, you will not get to know how to draw that chart. You will feel it is very difficult. Chapter number 3. 20 minutes you sit, you will understand the entire chapter. Some 20-30 minutes will complete the entire chapter. If you're done, raise your hand. Move on to the new chapter. Next chapter. Darshan has a doubt. Time by which some would double at 5% per annum compound interest. How to do this, sir? We had a shortcut for this. Can someone give me the answer? Darshan is asking a question. N is equal to how much? If a sum doubles itself in compound interest 5% per annum. Can someone tell me the answer? Shortcut. 72 by 5%. Yes, sir. 72 by 5. 14.4 years. In case of compound interest, the formula is 72 by R, 72 by I. Got it, sir. It will triple itself in 114 by R. Shortcut is there. Okay, got it. We'll be starting with chapter number 3, linear inequalities. Write down in your fresh page, chapter number 3. Chapter 3, linear inequalities. Very small chapter. We'll complete this today itself. We can complete this today itself. Again, from exam point of view, it doesn't have much weightage. Bandra, it will come for 1 mark. If your luck is the good, 2 marks. All are very simple questions. Just understand what it is. Linear inequalities. Graph ella madbeku. What is this? Easy chapter. Just look at the book. See, till now we had seen 4x plus 3y is equal to 10. These type of sums we are done. 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. These types of sums we have done. In equation only we have done. Now, if I change this to less than 10, is 3x plus 3y less than 10, then you'll have so many answers. For that, you have to put a graph. How to put a graph, we'll see. Now, if this is equal to less than or equal to 5, if this is the case, how to put a chart for it? If 3y plus 4x is greater than or is equal to 15, how to put a chart for it? That is the question. How to put a chart for it? That is all dealt in linear inequalities. Let us look at this one first. How to put a chart for this? Graph hege hakadu. Now, here the sign is not is equal to. Idre we know how to find out the answer. If there are two simultaneous equations, we know how to find out the answer. But now, how to put a graph for this? First thing you have to do is 4x plus 3y is equal to 10 anta hakbeku. First thing, change the inequality sign. Greater than, lesser than, change it to is equal to. First step is change it to is equal to. Now, what is the next step? Do 4x plus 3y by 10 is equal to 1. Remove 10 from the right hand side. Keep it as 1. Now, it is nothing but, let us change it to x plus 5y. It will be simple. I will tell you later. It will be simple to put chart. Otherwise, it will come in point and all. So we'll put the chart using this. Now, what is the first step? Put is equal to instead of greater than or lesser than sign. Now, second step is remove 10 and bring it to left hand side. It will come down. X plus 5y. Now, I will write it as x by 10 plus 5y by 10 is equal to 1. I will write it like this. Now, this can also be written as x plus 10 plus 5 and 5 cancel. Y by 2 is equal to 1. So, this is nothing but x is equal to 10, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 10 and y is equal to 2. I'll do like this. While charting the graph, it will be x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 2. How will I chart a graph? X axis, y axis, origin 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to do it like this till 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In y axis also I will do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the first step? Change inequality sign to is equal to. Then remove the 10 and bring it to left hand side. So divide both of them by 10. You will get x by 10 plus y by 2 is equal to 1. Now change x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 2 for the graph. This is for the graph. Now x 10 andre in the x axis This is 10. This is x-axis, this is 10. And in the y-axis, this is 2. Now you join it. Sorry. This is the line. This is the line. Since the sign is not is equal to, since it is greater than or lesser than, it is a dotted line. It is a dotted line. It is a dotted line. It is not a full line. It is a dotted line. You have to put a dotted line. A dotted line. This is how you plot the graph for x plus 5y less than 10 Now you have to shade also. One, either you will shade the other side or you will shade towards the origin. The other one side you have to shade. Which side? We look into this original equation and put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 and substitute. If x is equal to 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, is 0 less than 10? Yes. Is 0 less than 10? Yes. Put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. That is your origin. That is your origin. Put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. If the answer is true, then you have to shade it towards origin. You have to shade it towards origin. If the answer is false, you have to shade it the opposite side of the origin. Aste. The entire chapter, we have to do only this much. Aste. Understood this one? How to put the chart and how to shade it. Ishtartha aita.
Understood.
Don't
sir.
write down. Don't write down anything. No need to write down anything. No need to write down anything. Now look at next example. Let us take 3x plus 4y greater than 12. Now this is also a linear inequality. We don't know is equal to anta illa. It is greater than or lesser than, or greater than or equal to, or lesser than or equal to. They have not given 3x plus 4y is equal to 12 kotilla. Now how to put a chart for this? How to put graph for this? What is the first step? Step 1. We'll write down 3x plus 4y is equal to 12 anta baredu. We'll change the sign to is equal to. This is our first step. Now second step, what will we do? We'll bring 12 to left hand side. 3x plus 4y divided by 12 is equal to 1. Correct?